Behind me is my pop-up travel trailer. To set it up, we want it level so that we can prep for a camping trip or clean up after one. And the problem is where I have to park it is nowhere near level. It's off by quite a bit. You can see how much this trailer leans from where I'm standing. And we have used leveling blocks, but the driveway here lanes in two different directions. So we've had the last couple times we tried to set it up, it fell off the leveling blocks and started rolling down the driveway, and we managed to stop it by pure dumb luck. So what I'm going to be building is a leveling ramp that is going to be specific for this spot, and we'll see how well this works. Hopefully this will solve our problems. So I went to the Orange Home Center store and I bought this piece of 2x8, 10 feet. It's a little bit more than what I need, but it was only $8, which wasn't so bad. I did not get pressure treat. This is not going to be outdoors all the time, and it's only going to be whenever we set up the trailer, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. So the plan is I need I don't know, does that show up on the screen? I hope so. I need from the bottom of the base of this thing to the very top where the tire is going to rest. It's going to be 4 boards, and it's got to be 5.5 inches, so it's going to be just shy of 4 boards. We'll see if I even bother shrinking that last board. I'm going to have bumps, a more severe bump in the back, so when I back it onto it, I don't accidentally overshoot, and then a slight bump up front to keep it from rolling off. Maybe basically a built-in chuck. And I'm just going to build a ramp. So I'm going to cut these at 45s. And once it's assembled, I might just go ahead and carve it a little smoother of a ride up. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. So I laid out the very first board at 20 inches to the line, and then the second one 25, the third one 30, and the fourth one 35. So we'll start cutting it up. Off camera, I went ahead and used the table saw and cut all these boards to the right length. I still need to cut out this to make it 5.5 inches instead of 6. But I'll do that, and we'll start assembly. I was thinking about cutting out the centers or pieces of the centers in the lower boards to save some weight, but I don't know if I'm going to bother. It's not that terribly heavy, and if I just add a rope, I think it will be just fine. I'm a little concerned on how steep this angle is. It's 45 degrees. I didn't feel comfortable with making a cut that would make these steeper, so this is how they came. That might be a little too steep for this, for what it is, but hopefully I'm not wasting a bunch of wood. If I were to back off this piece here just a little bit, doesn't have to be, all this piece needs to do is be a stop, right? It doesn't have to hold any weight or any strength, so I could back that off a little bit, right? And I'm thinking I might be able to bring this more like here, okay? And then as a result, go ahead and make this ramp more like this. It'll still be kind of steep, but I think it'll be much better than it is. Use a carving tool on my angle grinder and just reshape. Or I might just go ahead and mark my line and then cut as close to that line as possible. Once it's cut, then I'll be able to refine it with the angle grinder. We'll see. This isn't actually fine furniture or anything, so that's okay. You can see by the spirit level that we're off quite a bit. That is what this ramp is for. But problem is that the step just keeps the ramp from working. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ramp on the other side of the wheel. Should be able to back up over the ramp. All right, very slowly in reverse. All right, never mind. All right, so I lowered the angle for the ramp itself, but it's very possible it's still too steep. But I also added a curve into the bottom so that the footprint is just the back and the front, and hopefully that will keep it from sliding. All right, here's try 2 with a more shallow ramp. Let's give it a shot. All right, go. Hup. Well, that worked, but I am not at all sure I like it that much. Really, it did work though. I'll have to think about this. Well, the good news is it worked. The bad news is I really did not like it that much. I'm gonna have to think of something different as a solution for this problem, but I think this one is going into the fire pit. Here's try number 2. I have a neighbor who was throwing away these automotive ramps, and they're a bit taller than I need. So since they're all rusty and nasty anyways, no great loss. So what I'm going to do is I marked off with chalk where I want to cut off. I'm going to cut off this support too, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to I'm not much of a welder, but I'm going to try to re-weld the support higher so that it will not fold under the pressure of the RV, and hopefully this will work. I might have to refine this cut right here because it may be sitting too low, but then again it may not. We'll see. That's I'm not gonna show me grinding this off. I don't feel like dealing with the criticism of how I do it wrong. Okay, I cut 3 inches off of this whole ramp. I want to do some cleanup. I want to notch out that a little bit, and other than that, I'm relatively pleased on how this came out. I'm also going to need to weld these braces back on to the back here. I don't know if it's all that terribly necessary, but what the heck. I will practice being a metal worker today. Like I said, I'm going to notch out this and here and here. And then I want to clean this up. There's a sharp edge here and there's a sharp edge here. So I have another bit for grinding. So, if this isn't proof enough, I am not much of a welder. But in all honesty, I don't even know how necessary these horizontal bars are. There's a decent weld here that's from the factory that's going to hold this leg pretty tight, and my welds aren't perfect or even particularly very good, but they're probably going to fall into the category of good enough. I might want to make a little bit of an extra stop on the front of this ramp, but that worked perfectly well. A lot better than the wooding one. That was super heavy. And check this out. The bubble indicator shows it right on the mark. So I'm pleased. It's a lot lighter than the wooden one, and it's a lot easier to maneuver, so not at all unhappy. Good. Finally, after every woodworking project, you should always count your fingers. You end with 10. Good job.